Philip Calvin McGraw, better known as Dr. Phil, is an American television personality, author, and psychologist who is the host of the television show Dr. Phil. McGraw first gained celebrity status with appearances on The Oprah Winfrey Show in the late 1990s. Raised in the Midwest of the United States, Phil McGraw played college football for the University of Tulsa and Midwestern State University, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. He then earned his Master of Arts in Experimental Psychology and his PhD in Clinical Psychology from the University of North Texas. He began work in private practice for several years while also holding large seminars for patients. McGraw's fame began in 1998 when he began making weekly appearances on The Oprah Winfrey Show. Oprah Winfrey then helped McGraw launch his own program, Dr. Phil, in September of 2002. The show is formatted as an advice show. In October of 2003, he launched the Dr. Phil Foundation, which is dedicated towards fighting childhood obesity. McGraw has also been the source of some controversy. He has not held a license to practice psychology since 2006. His advice has been criticized for being simplistic and ineffective, and he has been the defendant of several lawsuits, including poor business practices, the mistreatment of others, employees, and defamation. If you haven't yet, subscribe to us so that you never miss any of our uploads. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Number 5. Grandma ruins marriage due to inappropriate husband. Whitney brought both her mother and husband onto the show so that they could resolve Whitney's husband's continuously indecent exposure of himself to his members of the family. The one being the most frequent was Whitney's mother, who had done nothing to stop this. Number 4. Arrogant teen stalker plays the victim card. After having to deal with a 21-year-old who supposedly fell in love with a lady on the internet because she liked a tweet, he then went on to stalk, harass, and even send nudes to the unintentional victim who never requested any of it in the first place. Dr. Phil brought the two on face-to-face so that Bailey could see the true damage of what her social media stalking was doing. However, after Bailey continued to play the victim card, Dr. Phil was fed up and kicked her off to continue the interview with only the victim. Number 3. Bumfights producer kicked off the show. It's not often we see Dr. Phil get so fed up with his guests in a particular situation where he just cancels the entire show, but that's exactly what he did with Bumfights producer Ty Beeson. Ty Beeson's show was called out by Dr. Phil for the degradation of homeless people. In the show, Bumfights had teenagers go out filming homeless people doing crazy stunts and getting into reckless street brawls. Once confronted with footage of the show, Dr. Phil had enough, calling out Beeson for his disgusting morals and calling out the blatant exploitation of the city's homeless. When Beeson became uncooperative, he was simply escorted off the show. Number 2. Violent father gets a taste of his own medicine. One of the many things Dr. Phil absolutely does not tolerate is the violent abuse of children by their own parents. Being in the position that he's in, Dr. Phil has no doubt unfortunately dealt with and handled many of these people throughout his career. However, he was not prepared when he met Jack, the abusive father who thought his child with special needs was actually a demon possessed by evil and needed an exorcism to, quote, cure the problem. After being seen video of the father abusing and yelling on the child, Dr. Phil could not hold in his anger and frustration, yelling and screaming at the father on live television to convey how he felt when he was subjected to the same torment of his own father. Number 1. Abusive father caught on video. Unlike most of the guest appearances on Dr. Phil, Danielle actually admits and recognizes that she has anger issues. She came on with both of her parents to find out where the source of her anger was coming from. However, Dr. Phil dove deep to the heart of the issue and discovered video footage of paternal abuse that Danielle was receiving from her father. Dr. Phil couldn't handle the negligence of her father, making this number 1 on the list. That's all the time that we have for today, but what's your favorite Dr. Phil episode? Leave a comment down below, and if you'd like to stay up to date on our newest videos, press that red subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you never miss an upload from us.